Alrighty guys, welcome back to another one. In today's breakdown video, we're doing Wolf Performance Ammunition Power Rifled Slug 12 gauge, 1 1/8 ounce, 2 3/4 inch. Nowhere on this box does it list the velocity. You can see it's not right here. It is not up here. It ain't on the back of the box. The sides. Yeah, nowhere is the velocity listed. Although right here it does say high velocity rifled slug, so who knows? Maximum knockdown energy and supreme accuracy. I don't know about any of that, but Wolf is not bad ammo. If you guys have ever picked up their 7.62x39 or 223 5.56, whatever, target loads, shells, whatever, they are pretty decent for the money. But going over the box here, it is just black. It looks like their standard box for everything they put out. Yes, they do make some higher end stuff too, but yeah, this is the regular black box, if you want to call it that. But yeah, 12 gauge, 1 1/8 ounce. It is a rifled slug and it's connected to a tail wad, as you can see. But the box itself, kind of boring. This side is just some info about you will be satisfied, satisfaction guaranteed, reliable load for big game hunting, tactical applications for smooth-boring rifled barrels, all that stuff. These are made in Russia, which is actually a good thing. The Russians seem to really know what they're doing with shot shells. But the box is kind of boring, but at the same time, it ain't the worst I've ever seen. But we're not here for the box. We are here for this. You can see the slug in there. Has some pretty wide-spaced, very pronounced rifling on it. Doesn't have a hollow point. Once again, these are attached to a tail wad. Of which kind, I have absolutely no idea. I have never seen that one before. I also have no idea what hull this is. It's very thick plastic. It doesn't look like a Shadat, a Fiocchi, Rio, NSI. Doesn't appear to be any of those. It's stamped Feder, Russia 12. This might be a Feder hull. Feder has been around for, I believe, well over 100 years. We did have some of their slugs before that were actually branded Feder. And those were also attached to a tail wad. And they did fairly well. We didn't film them, but yeah, they did pretty good on paper. We need to get some more of them. But yeah, high brass hull, 16mm. It is brass plated steel. And no, high brass does not matter. Once again, there is no pressure difference between high brass and low brass. Or no brass at all. But, yeah, I really have no idea what kind of hull this is. It does just say Wolf Power Rifled Slug, 1 1/8 ounces, 2 3/4 inch. And that's it. I guess without further ado, guys, let's open this up and see how they put it together. Once again, this is super thick plastic that might actually be fairly difficult to unroll, but we'll see. Okay, so I have the shell broken down here. It is 5 different components. We have the hull and primer, powder, slug and tail wad combo. It's very simple, a lot like the, what were they? The Black Aces Tactical I did a video on recently. Very similar to those, but I'll start with the hull here. It is straight wall, as all European shells are. It does have a low, flat base wad. You can see the primer is sticking up above the bottom of the shell a little bit. The bottom of the shell is called the base wad, that separate plastic piece you see down there. And a gold primer with a white sealant. I have no idea what kind of primer that is. Again, Feder could be making their own components. I really have no idea. I've never seen a primer like that before. But once again, this hull is extremely thick. I did straighten it out with a curling iron, as you can see there. And it is round again. And I did skive the hull because this was insanely thick. And I have absolutely no confidence I would be able to roll crimp that with just regular tools. I don't have anything like a big machine that, can precisely do it. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, super thick hull. Actually, guys, this reminds me a lot of a Winchester dry-lock hull. That somewhat smooth, waxy texture to it, and it is somewhat soft. I'd imagine these crush very easily if you try to reassemble these with a fold crimp. Anyway, moving on to the powder. I have never seen anything like this either. It gives me the impression that this will be a very dirty, burning powder. If you guys hear any noise in the background, that is my dog just slurping up water as fast as he possibly can, like it's going to go out of existence. But yeah, the powder's kind of ugly. It's like OD green and cylinder shaped. I don't know. Not really seen anything like that before. Here is the Slug and tail wad combo. Focus. Come on, camera. There we go. And yes, there is a little bit of damage to it. It was, once again, very tight in the hull, which means this is definitely 73 cal plus, which is best for accuracy. You always want full bore. I don't like sub-caliber projectiles unless they're a Sabo Slug 675, 685. Anything above that, until you get to 730 caliber, 73 cal, I'm not such a fan of it. And if you look closely in here, I know this is going to be very, very hard to see on camera. Right there at the top. This is stamped Feder. Once again, I have no idea if Feder makes their own components or not. There's really not much info about them online. What does that say down there? I can't make it out. Who knows? I noticed there is an indent right there next to that rifling line. Don't know what that's about, but it is all the way around the Slug. Overall, this is a pretty interesting design. It's very similar to an Azot style Slug. And tail wad, I guess, but how much does this weigh? 508 grains. That is more than ounce and an eighth. The whole thing together is 1.61 ounces, which again is more than ounce and an eighth. Always love seeing that with factory shells. Let's separate these two and see how much the Slug actually weighs, though. And actual weight of the Slug is 1.045 ounces. You could call that a 1 1/16 ounce Slug. It's not quite there, it's barely off, but with the tail wad, once again, it's 1.163-ish. The tail wad itself is 0.116 ounces, which is almost 1/8 of an ounce. So, well, I mean, I guess it is a 1 1/8 ounce Slug, sort of, if you combine the Slug and tail wad together. Personally, once again, I think that if you're advertising a 1 1/8 ounce Slug, the Slug itself should be 1 1/8 ounces and not the Slug and tail wad combined. But that's just me. And for a charge, this one has 25.6 in it. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be 25.5, but once again, well, not once again, I have mentioned this before. These are done on machines. Machines are not as precise as people are, so there will always be some variance from one shell to the next. I could open up another one of these. It could have 24.9, could have 26.1. Yes, I've seen that big a variance before. It's all on machines, guys. Can't control them. So here it is, all separated out. There's really not too much else to say about this. It is a really, really simple shell. I guess let's slap this back together, if I can. I don't think this hull is going to go together very well. The plastic just seems not, I don't know, not really workable. But I'll get back with you guys in one moment. I was worried for nothing. This thing went back together, no issue at all. Probably because I skived it. But I have messed with hulls like this before that, you know, have very weird plastic to them. Like the, what were they? The S&B hulls. This reminds me a lot of them. Really weirdly thick, soft plastic. They crush so easy when you try to fold crimp them. And this feels like the same material, although I can tell it is not the same hull. But yeah, it re-rolled just fine. Probably because I skived it. But there it is, guys. It looks beautiful. Although all of the writing is now gone. But that doesn't matter. Anyway, there is a breakdown on Wolf Performance Ammunition Power Rifled Slug 12 gauge 2 3/4 inch 1 1/8 ounce rifled slug. Velocity unknown. we will be doing a breakdown, or sorry, a range video on these with a smoothbore and a rifled barrel just to see which one's better. Although if these are anything like the Black Aces Tactical GT9 Slug was, they're about on par with each other. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.